Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is the second video in my series Instagram tips and tricks. So this one is going to be all about using the creator or business account. In my first video, I talked about kind of how to set it up, how to pick a name, I forget what else, but if you want to watch that one first and make the account before you learn all the tips and tricks about it, then you can click on this little video that pops up above my head and it will take you to that video first. So if you did watch the first video all the way through, at the end, my neighbor, it's not my direct neighbor, but it's 2 houses over, she was sitting outside and it seemed like she was just watching me, but I've realized, because she's doing it again right now, she's just aiming herself towards the sun. And she's got sunglasses on and she's kind of like leaned back a little bit, so I don't know if she's actually watching me. It still makes me feel uncomfortable, don't get me wrong, but I'm gonna film this video anyways because I want to. Okay, I am getting on Instagram right now and I'm gonna start screen recording and then I can share it with you guys over here on the side. Perfect. Okay, so the first thing you want to do when you go to Instagram, if you already have the business/creator account, they are two different things, but they pretty much do the same thing. Mine is technically a creator account, so if yours looks a little bit different, then it might mean that you have a business account. So first things first, up here in this corner, I don't know why I'm showing you, it's going to be over here. Top right corner, it's the 3 little lines. That's called a hamburger menu, and I didn't know that until lately, but in case you didn't know that, I said that in my last video too, it's called a hamburger menu. Guess because it looks like a hamburger. Anyways, you're going to click on that, and then you're going to click on the third one down that says Insights. This is all very important information that I did not really know how to use, or I didn't even know that it was there until about a year ago, but now I use it all the time. So the first thing it shows you is the top tab says Content, and it just tells you, like mine says, 45 posts and stories this week. But that's all together. I obviously story a lot more than I post. So if you scroll down, people keep messaging me because I just posted an Instagram story. So the first thing you're going to see is posts, and those are the last 4 posts that I did this week, and it tells you how many people saw it. That's what that little eyeball meant. So 26.8 thousand people saw that first photo, and I think they're in order. Yeah, they are. And then you scroll down and it shows the stories that you've posted and how many people have seen those. That number's pretty low because I just posted that like 15 minutes ago. And then down at the bottom it says promotions, and I'll talk a little bit about that, although I do not use that much, but if you have a business and something that you're selling, then that might be a good idea to use it. So I don't have any promotions down there where it says create promotion, but if you wanted to, you'd click create promotion, and then it lets you choose the post that you want to pick. So say I wanted to promote these books here, I could press next. Sure. Okay, so it's kind of telling me, I guess they updated it, so it's telling me a little bit about it, but it's saying reach new people. You can promote your post to reach people who don't actually follow you. That's what I would do it for. And then the next thing says your profile, so you could put a link with the photo that's going to take them to your profile, so not necessarily that picture itself, but to your profile, and then they can see all the rest of your pictures. That would be good if you sold t-shirts, stickers, lanyards, anything like that, because it automatically takes them to a page where they're going to see more of your products. You could also link your website, and that would be cool if you had like a blog or a YouTube channel, anything that you want them to leave Instagram or Facebook to go see. And the last one says they could send you a direct message. So that might be good if you're selling something that would be customized or people would have a question about it. But I think overall I would probably pick either your profile or your website, because that's going to drive your business and get more people to your page. Okay, so I clicked create promotion and it took me to this page, select where to send people. So then you can choose which one you want. I would just say my profile and then click next, define your audience. Instagram is pretty good at knowing your audience, especially if you have a page where it's like a teachergram or it's about a certain subject. So I would say automatic. I wouldn't pick mine myself. I would just let Instagram do the work. They're pretty good at that. You know, they pay people big bucks to do that. And then this is where you get to choose the duration and the budget. So I did this one time because a company paid me to do it. So if you're doing an ad or something and a company asks you to promote it, they usually will say, you know, we'll pay you this amount of money and then we'll give you X amount of money to promote it. So this says $30 for over 6 days. You could go down as low as you want. So like $1 a day over 6 days, that'd be $6 a day, but it's just not going to reach as many people. So the more money you spend, the more people it'll reach, or it'll put it out on their Instagram feed. If you're not sure what I'm talking about by promoting it, I'm sure you've seen it. If you're scrolling through Instagram, you probably have seen a post that says sponsored right under the name. And that means, or maybe it's at the bottom now, that means that somebody has paid Instagram to put this on your feed even though you don't follow them. And then it has like a little white bar at the bottom of their photo, and you can click it. It usually says like get more info or something like that. And that's when it'll take you to whatever they chose. So either their website, their page, something like that. So I'm gonna hit next. Hopefully it doesn't actually do this, but if not, whatever, it's $6. Okay, so once you hit that next button, it just takes you to a confirmation page. You put in your credit card info, and then you hit next, and over the next however many days you chose, it'll charge you, and then it'll put those ads out on other people's page. But for example, if it was just a picture of me in my classroom or me and my dogs, and I just wanted to reach more people, they would just see the picture of us and they wouldn't really think much of it. They might click on my page, they might follow me just because they like the picture. So it's not really like very ad-like and in your face. I'm going to try and scroll through and see if, well, here we go. Here's an example. Obviously, Amazon is a big company, but right here at the top it says sponsored, so you know that you don't follow the account or Amazon brands. Then down here at the bottom it says shop now. If I click that, it will take me straight to their page or something like that. But I do not follow this account. So that's Amazon paying for that to show up in my feed. So you could do the same thing with your products or just your pictures in general. Okay, go back to the Insights page, and the second tab over says Activity. I don't use this one as much just because I feel like it's not necessarily as helpful to me. It might be if you are a company, or again, if you're selling something. So it shows you there a little day-by-day accounts reached. So reach just means how many people saw your posts, and then impressions, I think it means altogether. Let's see, it tells you right here. Reach is the number of unique accounts that have seen any of your posts, the total number of times all your posts have been seen. Okay, so the top number, reach, just means like each post on average, and then the bottom number, impressions, is all of your posts together during that time. I don't really think that's super helpful to me. I don't really care how many people see it necessarily. I more care about how many people interact with it, like comment, like, save, purchase something through it, something like that. So I'm not super concerned with how many people I'm reaching, but it is just kind of cool to see how many people are viewing your stuff. Okay, if you scroll down, it says interactions, and this is more important to me. This is how many people do something once they see your picture. So if I post a photo and somebody clicks on my little username or my picture to go to my profile, that's where it tells you profile visits. So from all the things you posted, stories, whatever, 2,080. Okay, the next thing says website clicks, and my number is pretty low. The website that it's talking about doesn't necessarily mean your personal website. Like, it doesn't mean that you have a blog or you have a YouTube channel. It just means whatever link that you put in your bio, that's what people are clicking on. So for example, mine's a Linktree, which I'm gonna make a whole nother video about because there's so many different apps and things that you can use like Linktree where it sends you to multiple locations. But I haven't sent people many places in a long time. Usually I just put it on my story. So I'll say swipe up instead of go to the link in my bio. But if you don't have that swipe up feature yet, which you get for having 10,000 followers, then your website becomes your main thing. So you probably would have a higher number of click-throughs on your website link. So the last little tab over on the right of the Insights page is Audience. So if you click on that, this is all about your followers and kind of the info about them. So the first thing it says is just how many followers you have. And then this little thing here is a growth chart or a graph, I guess, on how many followers you gain and lose a day, and then just like the overall number. I try not to pay attention to this because it's kind of crazy. Like, a lot of people will follow you and then unfollow you, and I don't know, like, I don't really care to know who does what. But something I have noticed is it helps you see what people want to see on your page. For example, let's click on a random day. Let's click on Tuesday. So Tuesday, it tells me that I gained 31 and I lost 46. So overall, I lost 15. But if you click up here in the right corner, it says see posts. So it shows you what you did that day. So I posted a lot on my story, and then I posted the picture of me in my classroom, and I lost followers that day. But I would not get on here and get worried about it. The teaching Instagram world has been so weird lately just because of COVID-19 and being out of school, and then everything that happened with the Black Lives Matter movement when people weren't posting a lot. So it's all been kind of weird, but your followers will come, your followers will go. But what's important is that you have a loyal base of followers. It doesn't really matter if you have 1,000 followers that don't even look at your pictures or like your stuff, then it's not really worth having them. But if you have 100 followers who like everything and comment on everything, your posts are gonna have so much more engagement. And for me, at least, I know with Teachers Pay Teachers, it's not really about the number of followers, it's about how many of those followers are actually buying your stuff or teaching the same grade as you and using your ideas. Okay, scroll down a little bit and the next thing says top locations. I think this is useless information. I don't even know why Instagram shows you this, but apparently I have 1% of my followers from New York, Houston, Chicago, and then those other ones are less than 1%. The countries, obviously, United States is the highest, but then Canada, Australia, and United Kingdom. I don't know why that would be important to you, but Instagram thinks it's important. The next thing is age range. Another thing that I don't think is super important. I pretty much already know that just based on who I interact with Instagram, but 25 to 34 is 50% of my followers. And then you can see men versus women, but if you look underneath that, it tells you how many men and women, and I have 96% of women followers and 4% of men followers. So clearly very, very, very high with the women followers. If you scroll down to the bottom, this is pretty much the most important thing on this page. I don't know why they don't put this at the top, but it says followers, and it shows you your engagement times. So as you can see, from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m., it's kind of like steadily growing, but they're about the same. Most days I feel like my 9 p.m. is a much higher, but you can click through the days. This is the most helpful thing to me because it's all about when you should post on Instagram. So the first thing I click on is days. For me, they're all the same. I'm not worried about it, so I go back to hours. But your days might be different depending on what your content is. So for hours, you would click to find the day that it is. So if today is Tuesday, that's pretty much telling me when my followers are on Instagram, when they're liking stuff. So the highest point over here is 9 p.m. for me. At first I was really confused. I'm like, why are most of my followers on super late? Like I want to post at like 6 or 7 p.m. But what I've learned is since I'm over here in Ohio, when it's 9 p.m. my time, it's only 6 p.m. in California, and then it kind of like, goes back. So although it may seem like a lot of my followers are on, it's pretty much all my local followers, and then throughout the night, it gets higher and higher. So I do try and post around 8:30 every night, just because that's when I have the best engagement time. I will talk a lot more about engagement and how that looks and what that looks like in my next few videos about content, but for right now we're just going to stick with those numbers are important because when you post, you want people to see it right away and interact with it. So you want to post when your followers are online. And Instagram's already done the hard work. They literally make you all these graphs. Like all you have to do is click on it and use it. So before I knew all this stuff and I just had my normal account, I didn't really know anything about good engagement times and stuff like that. So I would just post whenever. I would actually try and post first thing in the morning because I thought in my head that it would like beat people to the punch and that all the other times were very saturated. But I didn't think, wow, if no one's on Instagram right now, no one's gonna see this. So that was a stupid mindset, and I'm glad that I learned about it and I can teach you about it. If you have any other questions about how to use a business account or a creator account, especially if you're using it for teaching related purposes, then I'm your girl. But if not, you could probably look up another YouTube video, honestly. And another one will probably pop up after this because that's just how YouTube works. My number one piece of advice about using a business account is just use the resources they give you, because Instagram already does all the hard work and they make all these graphs for you so that you can succeed. So next week's video is going to be about my number one most asked question, and that is all about followers, how to gain followers, how to keep followers, how to have like authentic followers who are buying your products and supporting you, using your ideas, messaging you back, stuff like that. So I will do my best to answer all your questions about followers in my next video. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss any videos to come. And while you're at it, head on over to @MissCurtis's_Classroom on Instagram and follow me there. I would love to hear from you or answer any questions you might have. But until next week, I will see you guys later. Also, one last thing, I just wanted to let you guys know that I filmed this entire video with my neighbor sitting there in that chair watching me. And if that's not growth, then I don't know what is. I used to be so embarrassed to get this camera out, but look at me thriving.